How's it going, everyone? It is Tuesday, June 4th, 2024, and this is the video for today. Yesterday, I gave a pick on WDC as a put credit spread. I gave the 71.70 put credit spread for a 20-cent credit. I think you get a little bit more right now. So if I look at that trade, you are going to see that it is actually trading for a little bit more. It's trading for about, you probably get 27, 28 cents on that. But certainly you still have time to get in on this spread if you wanted to. Probably not gonna, I don't really add to put credit spreads, but you could add if you wanted to, but we don't have to talk about this too much. We're just gonna check on it, once a day. At the end of the day, see how it's doing. It's holding, as long as it's holding the support, maintaining this choppy channel. I don't really care too much what happens intraday. KSS, we were holding this earnings time spread, so we closed the short call here on the 30th, riding this all the way up. Looking pretty good today. It had sold off a little bit, especially when the market is having an up day. So tells me that, okay, we might see a little bit of resistance at this level. Volume has been pretty low today on this pullback versus the strength that we saw earlier on this sort of higher volume candle. Your 1.0 volume is going to be skewed low simply because of this earnings candle, so you can kind of ignore that. But pretty nice, strong, high volume move here, and not a ton of high volume move lower. So still going to hold it at the end of the day right now. I mean, at this point, it's worth about 1 cent, so my downside is still so low. I'm looking to see, I was trying to scratch here. I'm going to see if I can get out for maybe like a 50% loss if the market has a positive reaction to the news and it pops up to the 200-day SMA. Maybe I can get a bit of a better loss on this stock. And on the downside, it's already at 1 cent trading, so I don't think I'm really going to be risking too much on KSS. Let's modify that. Okay. So market today, what has been going on? Long term, we are still fundamentally bullish, mildly bullish. I'm at a 1. Technically, also still at a 1. We're preserving this uptrend, marginal new high. And I think this was a pretty interesting day on the 31st where we had this big bullish reversal. 100-point S&P 500 move in the last couple hours of trading in the second half of the day. Same pattern yesterday, and we managed to close above the prior day high. Today, we got another bid check, and then we rallied up higher. So that's sort of the pattern that we're seeing here. It's a bit stair-steppy, and I think if we zoom in a little bit to something like the M30 chart, that's a little bit more pertinent. This downward channel has been broken. We get this move up, test the downside, move up, test the downside, move up. So we are in a bullish trend. And we want to look for stocks that are strong during this downtrend. And I wouldn't get too crazy with any swing shorts at the moment because we have this uptrend. This is subject to change given some of the economic releases that are going to be coming out this week. ISM manufacturing, unemployment report, ADP, all that fun stuff. But I think this is the key tell that I see in the market. We have this move up here. We're making higher lows is the key part, and some higher highs. So short term, we're still mildly bullish. I think it's the start of the move, but the move hasn't been very, very strong. I'm going to go back to the the D1 chart very quickly. So here, right, where we get this pullback, we don't even get that much of a retracement in the pullback. We get this chop around, and then we get this breakout. We don't even get a deep pullback here. Here's a pullback, and see how it's gobbled up pretty quickly. So that tells us that there is a lot of market strength. Here, right, we get this pullback, and we move down here, but it's a bit of a choppy move before it actually starts to go higher. So it tells me that we, don't want to get crazy with the swing longs. We'll probably add if we get a breakout to a new all-time high, maybe. It depends if we get the follow through or not. That's kind of what we're seeing. But it's a similar pattern here. We get the probe for support, but the initial move off, there's still a lot of back and forth fighting, but there is a general uptrend. Now, I think this move going up is stronger than this move here, especially because there was just a lot of information and earnings and FOMC. There's just a lot of news to digest during this period, which I think caused some of that choppiness. Here, it's a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner, which is what I like to see. The pullback is briefer, and we're still pretty close to this all-time high. So this puts me in a little bit more bullish scenario than what we're seeing over here. Now, M5 today for SPY. We have this flat open. I mean, I guess we had a sort of a gap down, but not a huge move in my opinion. We closed here at 57, about 528. We opened at 526, so $2 gap down, but it's kind of in this choppy range here. A lot of back and forth chop, probe for support, go up higher, and everything is good until we get this breakout candle. So we get this breakout candle at 215. The entire day my market bias is 0. Once this breakout candle happens, we have the potential to be mildly bullish, and then we get the follow through. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit bullish. And given the more shorter term trend, this makes sense. We're more likely to break out to that upside. We're getting close to the prior day high, and we have resistance at around 531.50. So we have some room to resistance. This is a pretty nice bullish scenario. I think this could set up well for some overnight longs or some longs that you are currently in. So that's what I'm seeing here in the market. We have this bearish cycle coming up, but there's some nice volume on this level here. I think that if we do see a bearish cycle, it's more likely to be benign or even divergent because this candle has held. We got follow through, and we're holding this follow through here, which tells us that bulls are engaged. So how can we take advantage of this opportunity? I am going to go to my watch list. There's a couple of picks that I like today, and I like sorting by this range, by the way. I think it's very helpful. So first one I really like here on the long side is Walmart. If this is here, we're loaded here. So we get this post earning moves, kind of choppy. We get this breakout today. And the key with Walmart here is that it was kind of chopping around and really holding a lot of the gains while the market was going down. That's really the key tell. If I put up this SPY overlay on the background here, market going down, Walmart going up. So you know that there is kind of operating under its own power. And it's really just chopping up, grinding higher the whole day after it got this breakout. So very nice intraday price action. I love this D1 chart. There's just not a lot of TA. Excuse me, not a lot of TA in the way. CCL cruise stocks were doing pretty good. This is a beautiful breakout in CCL. I think RCL is actually a little bit better of a pick. It has a much stronger D1 chart. It's pretty close to the top of its channel. And maybe this is not the absolute best channel you can draw. Maybe the channel's here. Maybe the channel is here. There's a couple of ways you can draw that channel. A bit hard to say. But both of these are pretty valid. But I love this compression breakout in RCL. Very, very nice price action. Grinding up higher to the high of the day. And I think this is going to have some continuation. So RCL is a really another nice pick. I like T2. I always call it 2-2, even though I think it's not really how you say it. Gap down, grinded up higher, filled in the gap, and then we got this compression break. And then as soon as this market started to gain steam here, as compressing while the market's moving down, this stock is starting to grind higher. Volume is coming in. So really nice. It was probably a really nice intraday pick. In the gap, certainly lots of room. And, we get this gap fill here at around 168.33. So about $2.30 to the gap fill. Love this price action too. Very consistent price action. Very orderly, not a lot of retracements, just riding that 8 EMA. So this may be my pick of the day. Let's go to a couple other ones here. TTD, Nice bullish flag here. It just had this high minus trend line in the way, so it wasn't as crazy about it. If it could break out above just this high here, around May 29th, there's a little bit of compression here. If we kind of get through this level, then I would be interested. It would be a nice bullish flag formation. But certainly a nice pick, founding support off of the AVWAP E. Spot, very nice breakout today above this high, through this level. Digested a lot of the gains, and it was just riding up this low plus trend line here. The thing is not getting above this 324 level. I'd like to see it close above that level today, so I'm going to set an alert at the high of the day. So that's where the intraday chart comes in handy, because if we didn't get this candle, right, if we didn't have this long tail, I would love this stock. But this high volume tells me that, okay, there's some sellers here. We might have to do a little bit more fighting to exhaust them, but I think it's certainly in the cards given, one, the market tailwind. If I kind of draw, we have this channel going up here. The market tailwind and the fact that we're making higher lows means that we've tested this level once. So first test, second test. Right, first test, we kind of bounce down here, find some support around 317. Test it again, bounce down here, find some support. This is a huge volume candle, by the way. This is a really high volume candle. A lot of pops in these candles. Now we're testing it again. So the more we test it, when we test it very often and very quickly, it really feels like we're just chipping away at this resistance level, and then we're kind of going to exhaust all that supply and get that next leg higher. So that's kind of what I've been observing when we hit these points, when that's what makes, this is the difference between a pause and a reversal, and or I guess a pause and a point where the stock really does stop. What's looking good on the bearish side? Well, let's go back to our D1s here. LSXMA, Liberty Media Corp. I mean, this stock does not care about what the market is doing at all. Just absolutely does not care. Beautiful breakdown here. Compression break. Very bearish chart. Not a lot of TA in the way. This would probably be my pick. You can take shares on this stock, 70 cents. So you can get some nice ATR on this. So if I had to give a short pick, that's what I would give. It really depends how I want to play the news tomorrow, and I'm still kind of deciding this, as you can see in my thoughts. DAR, also very ignorant as well. So a couple of nice stocks, but I think the pick that I'm going to give is going to be conditioned to the following. So we have news coming out tomorrow. I don't want to be in a lot of positions. We have one long on WDC that is passive, right? Because we're selling premium. So given that we have economic releases tomorrow, I either want to not take a lot of trades or be balanced when I take the trades. So I think I'm going to give a balanced approach here. The market is a little bit bullish, so our portfolio would be slightly tilted bullish, but I think there are opportunities on the short side. I don't want to trade against the trend here. Yeah, I think... Oof. This is a really nice setup. Like, I really like this setup. This is the setup to me that really feels it's going to ignore what the market's going to do, and we're going to have follow through. This is probably the only short I would take given the situation. So I'm going to recommend that. We're going to recommend Liberty as a short. We have our stop around 22 cents. So about 70 cents here. ATR is about 70 cents. Historical IV is going up. I would take shares. I think you could go... Yeah, you could probably take shares on this if you want. Pretty cheap stock. Target a nice 35, half an ATR move or full ATR move if you want. But I expect this move to have some follow through. Really like Liberty over here. So Liberty is going to be my short pick of the day. I'm going to give a balanced approach. And my long pick of the day, I'm between Walmart and T2. Walmart has a bit better of a D1 chart. Nice grind higher. T2 does have a really nice head of steam. I'm really kind of cutting it here, but there is a bit of a wall here. I'm gonna also check. I like to check this volume vision. Got this idea from Dan. I'm building it an option stalker here, and I like to have this price line as I move back so I can see what TA comes into play, which is not really a lot. I just think this gap fill is going to be the main thing here. Yeah, gap fill is going to be the main thing here. Yeah, I'm going to recommend T2 long. I think that's going to be my pick of the day. We're going to go one long, one short. Keep it fairly balanced into this move and target the gap fill here. We got a nice head of steam, and I would lean on the 8 EMA at this level. We got a really nice head of steam here. I think that leaning on this point is going to be maybe a little bit too far in terms of a stop at 160. Oh, there's lift breaking down. So I'd probably lean, on the 8 EMA here. I want it to hug that level, and if we start kind of stall a little bit on the trend, then I would get out. You can see that we get a strong trend. We stall a little bit for a couple of days, and then we start to reverse up. Trend, stall a little bit, move reverse up. But this is really nice, strong price action. Okay volume, not the best volume, but the trend strength is undeniable. And you can see how the stock was grinding up higher, even though the market was actually coming back down from the 23rd all the way to the 31st. Whereas here's the 23rd to the 31st, right? It actually moved up higher. Market started to gain some support. Stock started to rally above that level. So the ideal entry would be to get in actually the day before we get that breakout, and then we can ride that move higher to the end. But this is also a very nice entry point on T2 over here. So that's going to be my other pick of the day. Go to our YouTube picks. So we got one long, one short, and we have one bullish put spread that will give us a mildly bullish tilt, which matches up our market bias. So thanks for listening, everyone. We're going to take a look at the ISM tomorrow, ADP tomorrow. Jolts came in today, by the way, was lighter than expected, but had a pretty muted reaction market-wise. So, so far, job openings are coming lower, which means it's probably a little bit tighter supply. But we're going to just keep an eye on the unemployment report and ADP, as well as the continued claims, the initial jobless claims that comes out weekly. That helps us gauge what the unemployment report is going to look like. Thanks for listening, everyone. And we'll take a look at how these guys did in the next video.